going to start streaming here too. Yeah. Yes. I think we have got it. Yes. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Hello, hello. Well, no one's watching yet, but it is recorded, so maybe later. So, thanks for watching, if you're watching the recording. So, it's our ESL live Q&A again, Saturday. Every Saturday we're doing one. So, you know, if you missed this one, hey, come to the next one. Same time, same place. That's how it is. All right. We're going to be streaming for an hour. We're doing an ESL Q&A. ESL meaning English for a second language. Okay. So anyone who's interested in coming to check it out, come on, check it out. Ask your questions, and I'll give you some answers. Now, I'm still waiting for some people to actually join. Oh, here's somebody on Instagram. Hey, Shar. Thanks for coming. If you have any ESL questions, let me know. Okay, we've got Asina. Thanks for coming. It's an ESL Q&A, so if you have any ESL questions, you just let me know. Okay? Now, we don't have any questions yet, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over some idiomatic language that I had some videos on. Okay, a few weeks ago, I had one of my kind of frequent viewers ask me to review some of the idiomatic language. Hey, Anil. Thanks for coming. Ask a question if you want. Now, Instagram people, I'm going to be writing things, of course, writing notes, that sort of thing, but you'll only be able to see it on YouTube. Okay? So I'm kind of transitioning to doing the live stream on YouTube because it's a better connection, better quality, and I can use my pin mouse to draw on the screen. All right? So you can join on YouTube, same exact username as the Instagram. Need Help English, no caps, no spaces. So come on, take a look on YouTube. That way you can see what I'm drawing. You can see my examples. Hey, Edita. So, Nikita, thanks for coming. If you guys have any ESL questions, you just let me know. Again, you can view what I'm doing if you look at it on YouTube. You can join on YouTube as well. That way you can see what I'm drawing on the screen and stuff. So, we're going to get into a little bit of a review for some idiomatic language that are, from my videos and stuff. And if you want, go ahead and ask any question. Okay? So for now, let's go over early bird. I don't know why I capitalized the E, but not the B, right? Might as well capitalize them both, right? Early bird. All right. Hey there, KN. Hey, Carrie. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Let's see if we've got anybody on YouTube yet. Nope, no one's watching on YouTube yet. That's fine. So, early bird. What is it? What does it mean? Well, first things first, it is an idiomatic noun. It functions as a noun in a sentence, so we do need a or an if we're talking about it as an object or a subject. If we're defining a thing, we might also need is, am, are for definitions. Okay. Hey, there's Grandma. Grandma's coming. Gran, you can also watch on YouTube if you want. Yeah, early bird, noun, phrase. Well, I wouldn't call it necessarily a noun phrase. right? It is an idiomatic noun, but for it to be a phrase, I think it would need kind of more words, right? Like what's a good example of a noun phrase? I don't know. That's actually, let me think here. A noun phrase would require more words. Let's see. The quick brown fox. No. Well, I guess a noun phrase would be something like a combination noun, toothpaste, something like that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm being pedantic, as usual. I imagine that an English teacher being pedantic. How strange. But anyway, who can tell me what is an early bird? Can anyone define that for me? I see we've got some other people here. ARN.2.06. Thanks for coming. ARN.2.06. Let me see if my YouTube chat is working properly. Let me just test that really quick. Yeah, it's good. So, who was that? What is that, an early bird? We actually have, this actually is an abbreviation of a longer phrase. The early bird gets the worm, right? So, that's kind of more of a, I don't know, kind of a phrase describing a person. What's the term for that? I forget. I'm forgetting on the top of my head, of course, now. It's somebody who gets up early in the morning. Excellent. Of course, Edita. Very good. So someone who wakes up early. And there's actually also the opposite, right? Another idiomatic opposite to early bird. Do you know what the opposite is? Edita or anyone else, anyone else can also answer the question. Looks like we've got a question coming in on YouTube. Hi, Teacher James. What is the difference between folk music and country music? Interesting. Yeah, we can go over that once we answer and go over this early bird stuff. Late bird. So Edita's thinking maybe the opposite of early bird is late bird. Well, that makes sense. The opposite of early is late, right? But unfortunately, with idiomatic language, the differences are very rarely that obvious, right? So no, the opposite of early bird is not late bird. It's actually night owl. Opposite of nighthawk. That also would make sense, a nighthawk. But no, it's night owl. Yeah, that's a person who likes to stay up late. We call them a night owl. Early bird, night owl. So an early bird is someone who wakes up early. Night owl is someone who stays up late. I already wrote it. Wrote what? Nighthawk? Well, you said nighthawk, not night owl, right? So different thing, right? It's a little bit different there. Nighthawk. That's kind of interesting. Nighthawk. Yeah, I think, okay, a person who is habitually active or wakeful at night. Okay, all right, I guess that's another one. Maybe that's more of a UK. I'm not sure. We don't use Nighthawk so much here. Nah, not really, but in the US at least. So, hey, Tamil, thanks for coming. By the way, if anyone wants to see what I'm writing or like the things that I'm doing, you can just watch on YouTube. You can see my whiteboard. I've got my mouse pen. I use this for teaching. So you know, I couldn't do it. I can't do screenwriting because Instagram's only on the phone. Not so good. Some Instagram accounts can actually stream on the phone and the computer, but for some reason mine can't. You know, maybe in the future they'll allow that for me. They'll, you know, activate that for me. I don't know. But for now, I can't do it. So yeah, if you want to see what I'm writing, you gotta come to the YouTube channel. That's same name. Need Help English. No caps, no spaces. I'm live on YouTube right now, so you can join me on here. One moment. Allergies. Anyway, so an early bird, that's a person who gets up early, a night owl, or a night hawk. Now that we also, you know, I learned that. That's new for me. Night owl, night hawk. That's someone who stays up late. Sure. Habitually stays up late. Let's think of some sample sentences here. I'm just going to get a text box going this time for early bird and nighthawk. I'm going to give a sample sentence. Someone else in the chat, they can also try their own sample sentence. Highly encourage that. I didn't used to be an early bird, but now that I start classes at 7 a.m., I guess I am. Or, I never wanted to be an early bird. Right? I never wanted to be an early bird. Right? Naturally, I think, let me capitalize my eyes, I think I am more of a night owl, or as Edita pointed out, nighthawk, right? Naturally, I think I am more of a nighthawk. Nighthawk. So you can see these sample sentences here. Now, you'll notice, let me draw this here. Let me just put a different color. An early bird, right? I never wanted to be an early bird. I never wanted to be, I am more of a night owl, a nighthawk, right? Because early bird and night owl and nighthawk all function as nouns, we do need the article, all right? So, you know, be, is, am, let me see here. Let's use our is, am, are, or be for this as well. Let's get some examples of that. Most of my friends are night owls. My parents are early birds. Edita says, I don't want to be an early bird either, right? Yeah, ooh, yeah, that's a nice one though, yeah. I don't want to be an early bird either. Right? Yeah. Yeah, some people like it. I can't imagine enjoying waking up early in the morning. I've never found any joy in that myself. Right? So, but some people actually like it, which is baffling to me, you know, but I guess it's true. Sure. Hey, Noor Muhammad, thanks for coming in. If you've got some ESL questions, you just let me know, okay? And if you want to see what I'm typing, what I'm writing, just join on YouTube, all right? The YouTube channel has exactly the same name, Need Help English, all lowercase letters, no spaces, Need Help English. And then you can see I'm screen sharing and stuff. Oh yeah, last week someone said that they had difficulty reading what I wrote at the size 16 font. So let me just put that at size 24 font. Edita says, that's an idiom. What's it the meaning? What's it mean? What does it mean? Marcimar is asking. Well, I actually have the meaning written down here on YouTube. You can join on YouTube and watch on YouTube if you want. but just to go over it a little bit more, an early bird is someone who likes to get up early in the morning, who wakes up early. They enjoy that. A night owl or a nighthawk, that's someone who prefers to stay up late, right? So two different, I guess we could call it ornithological idioms, right? Ornithology has to do with the study of birds. All right, so it's two bird idioms. Early bird, night owl, or nighthawk. So I guess three bird idioms. And the early bird is based off of the proverb, the early bird gets the worm. All right. So Edita says there's no way that there's any enjoyment in it. Yeah. I'm right there with you, Edita. I'm right there with you. So, Marcimar, can you try your own sentence with early bird, night owl, or nighthawk? Try it out. Miru Chowdhury, thanks for coming in to the Instagram. Let's see if anyone else is watching on YouTube right now. Nope, just one person, Carrie. Carrie had a question, so let's go over her question. Assalamu alaikum. I'm not sure what that means, Miru, but thanks for coming. Can you explain the difference? Edita says, can you explain the difference between transitive and intransitive phrasal verbs? Yes, I definitely can. So we'll go over Carrie's question first, and then we'll go over that one. Okay, Edita? Let me erase what I have written down here. Let's change the marker color back to black. Now, Edita, I might forget that you asked that question. So in Instagram, you can actually submit it as a question, and then it saves in the question queue. So copy that and paste it into the question queue. That way, it'll help me keep track of it. Okay? You don't have to. I'll probably remember. But if I don't, that'll be very helpful for me to remember. Put it in the question queue. Okay? Miss MDX has also joined on Instagram. Thanks for coming. Now, we had a question on YouTube. What was that again? What is the difference between folk music and country music? Okay. Well, let's type that down here. Difference, change that font size back to 24, please. Difference between folk music and country music. Well, I'd say that there's, I'll give you the idiomatic difference, right? What is my understanding of the difference, and then maybe we'll Google it, okay? So, idiomatically for me, or colloquially for me, hey Pier Paolo, thanks for coming. Folk music is any, like, traditional musical style, right? Something that's old, okay? Kind of an older style of music. As to where country music has a lot of different meanings, all right? Well, the question about difference between folk and country music is a question for musicians, not for English teachers. Well, there's a bit of overlap there because, can you see my guitars? I actually am a musician and an English teacher, so fair bit of overlap on that one, okay? But, it's an English question. Fair game, right? It doesn't stop me from helping them research it. Sure, why not? I get questions about like culture and stuff all the time. I would consider this kind of more of a culture question. So country music can be, anything music from outside city centers. And folk or country, depending on the context, can be synonyms. It can be synonymous, okay? Can be. Country music in the US, at least, also has more of a distinctive meaning, like a distinctive difference. In the United States, at least, country music is, music with a strong focus on Southern culture and style, right? Thinking things like, they sing about things like trucks and cowboys. They typically or often will use acoustic instruments, acoustic guitars, right? So in the United States, at least, country music has more of a special meaning. It's kind of its own genre, right? But there is folk country too. Marcy Mar says, well, we're here to practice talking, so we can talking about anything. Point is to learn. Sure, great, yeah. Me, I love questions because I just want people to learn what they're interested in. That's the most important thing for me as the teacher. I just want people to be interested in what we're doing, what we're going over. I post question videos like reels every Wednesday on TikTok and Instagram. And no one ever asks, very, very rarely do people actually ask questions on TikTok. I don't know why. But finally this week someone did ask me a question, but it was like a question like, oh, where are you from? I'm like, well, that's not really an ESL question, but I'll answer it. I'm just happy someone's asking a question. Even though where I'm from is not really an ESL question, but whatever. Yeah, okay, sure. I'm just happy that someone's asking a question. Okay, this is basically the difference between folk and country music. Basically, like, depending on the context, there's really not any difference. But also, like in the U.S., there is it's a distinct genre that they like to sing in like more of a country or a southern accent. They have more of a focus on southern culture. Hey, Misita, Nia Misita. All right, sure. So thanks for coming. If you have any ESL questions, be sure to ask. The person who said talking about music. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, Marcimar. Yeah, I totally understand that. Folk music and country music, they both have a focus on like storytelling and a lot of stuff like that. They're really not very different from each other. Not really. Let's clear this out. We don't need that anymore. Bye-bye. Now, shoot. Edita had another question. Let me scroll up through this little chat box on Instagram. The difference between transitive and intransitive phrasal verbs. Oh, excellent. Very nice. Very, very nice. Good question. Let me respond to someone on YouTube really quick. Let's see here. Did that answer your question? Hopefully that answered your question. Let me know if you have a follow-up question. question. There we go. Alrighty, now back to it. Oh, I gotta scroll back down here. There we go. Now let's see here. So let's talk about transitive versus intransitive in general. Okay. I think folk musica is a different language, just music. Marcimar says, I think folk music is more specific at a place or town, isn't it? Well, I would say that folk music is more specific in time, right? I wouldn't, perhaps folk music can also be like regionally specific, but people can make more contemporary music in a regionally specific too, right? Just because pop music is made in a certain place or a certain area doesn't mean it's not pop. Folk music has more to do with being very traditional, or i.e. like older, right? An older, more traditional style. So I think you're right. If there's a particular like group, let me move this over here. I think it's kind of blocking my Wi-Fi signal or something. If there's like a particular group, in one area or another area, they might have their own musical or folk musical traditions. All right, absolutely. So that makes sense. But folk, I think, has a lot more to do with like history rather than location. But I could say, yeah, it's history and location. Sure. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Now, so let's talk about the difference generally between transitive and intransitive. Okay. So transitive versus intransitive. Does anyone know what that means? I'll give everybody a couple of seconds to try and answer that question first. Let's see if anyone's talking on YouTube. Carrie says, "Oh, that's good to know. Great information. Thank you." You're welcome, Carrie. But that is kind of a big topic too. So I don't know if I fully answered that question. I feel like a whole class could be taught on the differences between like folk and country. So I'm just best general summary. Hey, cool Jeevan, thanks for coming. If you have any ESL questions, you just let me know. It's an English Q&A. So if you've got any questions, I've got some answers for you, hopefully, or I should. Someone wants me to make the text a bit bigger. Sorry, I think I forgot to just do that. I was doing that earlier, yeah. Size 24 I wonder if there's a way I can make that default size 24. So what is that, transitive versus intransitive? If something is transitive, that means it requires a direct object. If something is intransitive, that's the opposite, right? Transitive, it does not require a direct object. Okay? So, this is, typically verbs, but it also can be phrasal verbs. Oh, Edita says, I know the meaning. It's related to object, but I'm more concerned about the phrasal verbs which can have object in between and those which... So if you're talking about the ones with the objects in between, what you're actually talking about is separable versus inseparable. Separable versus inseparable. Separable. Yeah, that's hard to spell. Separable. Got it. And there's also permanently separated. Permanently. Why can't I spell, huh? This is awful. Permanently separated. Separated. I keep misspelling everything. You know, I guess you just get a little nervous when you're live streaming and your spelling ability goes down, right? Hey, that's fine. Yeah, you just let me know what you need, describe it, and I'll let you know, right? Yeah, no problem. You don't have to form the question correctly. I'm here to help. So, yeah, what you're talking about is separable versus inseparable phrasal verbs. Now, separable versus inseparable, they do have a relationship to transitive or intransitive, because if a phrasal verb is separable, that means that you can put the direct object between the verb and the particle. Okay? When you use transitive verbs and when the other ones. Put that in, if you can, try to put that as a question in the Instagram so that I don't lose track of it. Okay? I'm going to try to remember that you've asked that. But if you actually submit it as a question, it'll save in the question queue, make it much easier for me to remember. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, if you want to see what I'm writing, come over to YouTube. Watch on YouTube. You can see what I'm typing and writing. Okay? So the YouTube, literally the same name, Need Help English, no caps, no spaces. I'm live right now. You can just come over to YouTube and join on there. Okay, you can see what I'm writing. So let's take a look at like some examples. All right, a separable phrasal verb. Okay, so we've got look up. All right, so look up, this has a direct meaning and an idiomatic meaning, right? So look up as a direct meaning is to look up, all right? But as a phrasal verb, it means to research. So we can look something up. Or we can look up something. Okay? Either way works. So let's just try this in a phrase, right? I had to look up the meaning of that word. Okay? So we got look up is our phrasal verb. And then the meaning of that word is our direct object. But I can also write it like this. I had to look the meaning of that word up. So we got looking up. And then the meaning of that word is separating it. So the meaning of that word is the direct object. Look is our verb, up is our particle, and we're putting the meaning of that word in between look and up. Right? I had to look up the meaning of that word. I had to look the meaning of that word up. Oh, looks like Remy joined us. Look up. Marcy Mar says look up is look something constantly. Well, I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, Marcy Mar. Look something constantly. I don't know. I wouldn't say that look up is anything constantly. This is a verb, right? It's a phrasal verb. It's something that you do, but not constantly. No. It's something that you can do at one time. something that you can do in the past. Of course, we can put it in the past because it's, a phrasal verb. We can change the tense. I looked up the meaning of that word. I looked the meaning of that word up. We could put it in the continuous tense if we wanted. Hey, sweet magenta. Continuous tense, right? I am looking up the meaning of that word. I am looking the meaning of that word up. Right? Present perfect continuous. I have been looking up the meaning of that word. I have been looking the meaning of that word up. Right? We can change the tense, of course, right? But no, none of these would have a meaning of like to be constantly, right? Of course, we could say, here's one. Constantly is an adverb. And so, of course, we can use it with the phrasal verb, right? I am constantly looking up the meaning of words. I am constantly looking the meaning of words up. We can do that. We can add constantly in there. So it's like, that means I'm doing it all the time without break, without stopping. Yeah, we can put it in there if we want. All right, no problem. No problem at all. Does anyone have any other examples of some phrasal verbs that they think are separable or inseparable, right? Does anyone, who can give me some examples of some other phrasal verbs that are either separable or inseparable? Who wants to try it out? I'll give everyone a few seconds. I know it takes a little bit of time to, like there's a video audio delay, and then you have to like type stuff, and blah, 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 blah. So does anyone want to try out their own example of look up, separable, and separated and not separated? Take in. Ooh, okay. Yes, that's good. Take in. So, what does that mean, Edita? Marsimar says, look up is like admire someone. Close. But that, I would actually consider that more of a prepositional verb, because for it to mean admiring someone, we'd have to say look up to. Ha ha! Look up to. Now that one is transitive, but because it's a prepositional verb, it is not separable. We have to look up to someone, look up to something, right? Like, oh, I look up to my mom. She's so smart and successful. I look up to James. He's such a great teacher, right? That means you admire them, right? Check out, check it out. Yes, there we go. We've got a nice one in the YouTube chat here. Carrie submitted one. To check something out, check it out. Exactly. Very, very good. And then Edita says take in, right? We can take in something, take something in. Yes, absolutely, yes. Let's put these down. Let's put these in here. Let me put them in my YouTube little screenwriting. Blah, blah, blah. All right, so we've got, shoot, what was it? What is it? Check out, and take in. Excellent. Edita's got an example. Take in can mean many things, such as make something narrower, or if you are taken in, it can mean to be deceived. Sure. Well, that's to be taken in. right? Now that's I would consider that more of an adjective, right? But to take something in, that's the phrasal verb. So you can use it as a verb or an adjective. Yes. And it's a similar phrase, but yeah, different meanings between the verb and the adjective. Oh, isn't English fun? Right? Oh boy. Different meanings. So let's put that in the notes here, right? Take in different meanings between the verb and the adjective form. So, quote unquote, to be taken in, that means to be fooled or deceived somehow. Deceived somehow. That's the adjective form. To, quote unquote, take something in has a different meaning. What does that mean? To take something in. To take in can mean many things, such as to make something narrower. Yeah. To make it narrower. I think that does have, that's kind of a more specific meaning, I think, right? Like to make it narrower, to take it in. That's kind of like more like a seamstress or like someone who alters clothing and stuff. Someone who makes clothing. To take something in kind of like means to make the size narrower. Yeah, for sure. Sure. But I think that there's kind of a more common idiomatic meaning. Let's see here. How would I define that? So to take something in kind of means like incorporating it in some way, to like absorb it, particularly like information or knowledge. But it can mean other things, like to give someone or something like shelter. To take something inside, right? That's kind of the more obvious meaning, right? Oh, I'll take you in, right? But that would mean like, so that wouldn't make it the like phrasal verb, right? That's more of a direct translation, right? Like phrasal verb, take in, right? Meaning, let's say number one is like to provide shelter. Right. After the terrible storms, we took in survivors. Right. Gave survivors of the storm shelter in our own home. And then since it's separable, after the terrible storms, we took survivors in. All right. Same meaning. Also, it can mean to kind of like retain or absorb knowledge. I have been studying for my GRE test, true story, and I'm having trouble taking in the math that I'm working on. Alternatively, I have been studying for my GRE test, and I'm having trouble taking the math that I'm working on in, right? Like retaining the knowledge, retaining or remembering the knowledge, right? So to take something in. I think that those are the two more common idiomatic meanings. Providing shelter. Oh, we can also to view or observe something, right? Number 3, to view or observe and retain, kind of like observe and retain as a memory or as something important, right? I visited the Grand Canyon and really took in the view, right? I'm putting this in the past tense. I visited the Grand Canyon and really took the view in. All right. Edita asks, is there some basic rule how to distinguish separable from inseparable phrasal verbs? Unfortunately, no. Certainly not that I'm aware of. Nothing that's reliable. Model Louver. Thanks for coming, model. I don't know. If you have any ESL questions, be sure to let me know. Oh gosh, we only have 14 more minutes of live stream time. This one's been going by pretty fast because of all of these fantastic questions. I love that. I think there was another question or like another example in the YouTube chat. Check it out, hand something out, get over. Yeah, single out. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, you've got a lot of really excellent examples there. Person in the YouTube. I don't think we're going to have enough time to go over them all, unfortunately, but maybe I can make some reels or something, some kind of Instagram content about some of these phrasal verbs. If someone wants me to do that, let me know by commenting. Okay, comment somewhere. Hey, can we get some videos explaining these phrasal verbs? If you put it as a comment, I'll do it. Okay, so we do have another like 10 or so reels to go through before I make a new batch. But yeah, I'll definitely get to it. Princess something. I can't read that, sorry. Thanks for coming. If you have any ESL questions, let me know. Okay? Now, we've been going over like take in, right? But we didn't go over check out very much. Okay? So let's take a look at some examples. But before I do that, I'd really like to see some examples from y'all. Like, can someone try using take in, take something in? So three common meanings is to provide shelter, to retain or absorb some knowledge, or to view or observe something to try to like retain it in your memory, right? Or it's like something important. Why don't you try that out? And so I'll give you guys a few seconds. I know it'll take some time to like type this sentence and everything. Yeah, I've been taking a break from teaching to like work on my GRE. I took a two-week vacation from teaching my classes, and like just so happened at the same time I was also having some trouble with my throat, so it was a really good time to take a vacation. It's been a week since I've taught any classes, so I was like, yeah, my throat is going to feel great. It's actually, my throat is still tired just from doing this live stream. Maybe I should go to a doctor, see if there's any permanent damage. I should probably try to keep my daily teaching time to like 6 to 7 hours. It's especially those like 9 or 10 hour teaching days. I think those are the ones that really damaged the throat. Now, does anyone have any examples? What do we got? I don't see any on Instagram. Don't see any on YouTube. Okay, looks like no one wants to give any examples. That's fine, no big deal. Let's delete this. Let's go for check out. Okay, so phrasal verb check out. I think that this can be transitive or intransitive. I think both are fine. So that means it's separable. Separable. But it doesn't have to be separated. Marcimar has a question. How can we know when, for example, is a phrasal verb separate? For example, give you up or give you. I mean, when phrasal goes separated of the article. Let me read that again. How can we know when, for example, is a phrasal verb separate? I think you mean separable, right? Probably, or when it's separated. For example, give you up or give you. I mean when phrasal goes separated of the article. Well, I'm not seeing an article anywhere in there, right? Articles are a, an, and the. So perhaps we're having a misunderstanding of like terminology on that one. How can we know, for example, give you up? So I think what you're asking is like, how do you know if a phrasal verb is separated? Is that what you mean? Well, first you would have to be able to identify the phrasal verb in general. Right? That's the first step. All right, if we can't identify the phrasal verb generally, then we won't know if it's separated or not. And then if you're capable of identifying the phrasal verb, then you'll know if it's separated because there will be some kind of direct object between the verb and the particle. All right. So it really, a lot of that is going to come down to being able or not able to actually identify a phrasal verb. Yeah. So once you're capable of identifying them, then at the same time, you should be capable of identifying whether or not they're separated. For example, give up or give you up. Well, you see there, right? Give is the verb, up is the particle. Give you up, the verb and the particle are separated by the direct object, you. So it's separated. Is that what you mean, Marcinmar? That's the question, for example. So I think I answered the question, but I might be misunderstanding the question. Did I answer the question, Marcimar? You let me know. Okay. I think I may have, but I might not have. So you just let me know. Okay? Anyway, let's go over check out a little bit, right? So, someone on YouTube says, you told me too much information. It's hard for me to take all of them in. That's fine because this is recorded. Come back, watch it again later. Okay? No problem at all. You can come back, watch it again, watch it on your own time, slow it down, take some notes. Yeah. That's another reason why I want to do it on YouTube, because it makes it a lot easier for people to like watch it again. Right? Very good. It's very good for that. Because very often we do go over a lot of information, right? And I don't want people to miss out on anything. So yeah, come back, watch it again later. No problem. Moy Diaz, thanks for coming, Moy Diaz. We have another 6 minutes, so if you have any ESL questions, you just let me know. By the way, anyone who is watching this later, don't be shy. You can ask your own questions in the comments of the video as well. I'll see it and I'll answer them. Okay, I might answer them in the next live stream, or maybe I'll post a video, or maybe I'll just type a response. Depends on the question, how complicated it is, you know, that sort of thing. Dula, go. Oh, well, thanks for coming, Dula. We've got another few minutes of live stream time. If you have a question, be sure to ask. Okay, Marsimar, let me know if I actually answered your question. I don't know if I did. Okay, so you just let me know that. Let's go over checkout a little bit more, right? So let's see here. So to check out, right? Like checking, well, it has kind of several meanings. Some of them are more or less common, okay? I think the most common one is to kind of like examine something closely, to check something out, to like investigate it. All right? More common meaning to examine something closely, or investigate it. All right? It is separable. Separable. Gosh, I just cannot spell that correctly. What's something that we can examine or investigate, right? Like, I was buying a new computer, and I checked out a few different ones. All right. I was buying a new computer, and I checked a few different ones out. All right. So it's like I examined them, investigated them, right, to see if they fit my needs. All right. So that's kind of like, let's just call that definition number one. It's a very common definition. Number two is to borrow something for a limited period of time, usually a library book. Right? So I checked out what's like a good book, right? Like Harry Potter from the library for a week. I checked Harry Potter out from the library for a week. All right, so that's another common meaning of like to check something out. Kind of like another pretty common meaning is to like leave a hotel or a motel or something. Right? That's checking out, which is the opposite of checking in. Right? So you can check into a hotel, and check out of a hotel. All right, so I don't know. Those are kind of like prepositional verbs too, though, aren't they? It's kind of, I don't know, are they more phrasal or prepositional verbs? It's hard to say. Hard to say on that one. But so let's see. Let's number three, like to quote unquote check out of a hotel means to leave it. To quote unquote check in to a hotel means to stay there, or really to initiate your stay there. Right? So also similar meanings. Also similar. Tough. Let's see here. But oh yeah, you know what? This meaning is inseparable. So we separable, inseparable. We cannot check hotel into or check hotel out of. Does not work. All right. Oh, look at, we got Universal Prince. We got a bunch of people joining right now. Unfortunately, directly at the end of the live stream. Okay, so you guys or y'all are exactly 1 hour late. Okay, so really sorry about that. But you can watch the recording on YouTube. Need Help English, no caps, no spaces. Come to the YouTube channel. Take a look. Okay, you can watch the whole thing. All right. 10s, 95, same thing. You've joined the live stream exactly 1 hour late, unfortunately. So, yeah, we're actually out of time now. Really sorry about that. We always start exactly 1 hour sooner than this. All right. So, yeah, that's it for our live stream. So, thank you everyone for coming. We're going to be doing it same time next week. Okay? So, just, again, thanks for all your excellent questions. Really loved it. Made the time really fly for me. Very happy about that. And then, come back next week. You can watch it on Instagram for now or YouTube. YouTube is better. It'll have better quality. It's easier to watch. You can see what I'm writing and typing. YouTube is better. Okay? So follow us on YouTube and, yeah, just watch it on YouTube. It's going to be better. But, I'll see everyone next week. Thank you very much for coming. Remember, if you need help with your English, you need www.needhelpenglish.com. Education, training, success.